in this great awakening, many of us fall toward hopelessness, fear, anxiety, great deep sadness, and many of the truths that are coming out are making us paranoid. And we need a miracle to kind of subside and to resolve and bring peace to many of our hearts. And I think we are seeing miracles. And I think we have to look for them. So I've allowed myself to fall into the depths of despair many days, mainly because my best friend was my daughter, and she lives with me with her husband, and I want her to always live with me. When I'm gone, she's going to inherit this house. What does she need to leave for? She does all the laundry. But yet I miss when she used to just be with me. She was my best friend. And as a mom, I don't know if anyone has really dove into this psyche of losing your child just by them growing up, especially if they're your best friend. It feels like you lost someone because they were always there with you. It was a comfort. It was your job. It was your best friend. It was their little giggle and smile. It was you felt like you had a purpose. And then when they grow up and they start becoming independent, you're just like, ah. And unfortunately, I think me and many others project that onto a world that's failing. So I want us to consider that, yes, we are going through an awakening, but also, yes, many of us, I'm 50 years old. I'm afraid of the end. We're thinking about the end. And so we're trying to become as spiritual and as knowledgeable as possible. Yeah, we are entering into the age of Aquarius. Yeah, we are awakening. However, there's other stuff at play here, and it's called projecting. And projecting is, there's a really, really deep sadness within you, and we have no way to get that feeling out except to blame it on the world that's falling apart. And so we have to be aware of our subconscious mind and how we work, like how we are like electric. And if we don't have a grounding, bam, it just explodes into a bunch of problems. So my name is Mary Moses, and you are in the forest part of Forest Fairy. Welcome. And here is Saul. This is Maximus. Say hi, Saul. Hi. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There's the little choo-choos. And we have some trees and some forest fairy stuff and some symbols here of being stuck by gravity. If you're a tree, your roots are stuck in the dark underworld. You're bound by gravity. You can't move unless, dun, 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 you move your consciousness into something that can fly. This is a symbol of the Holy Spirit and your higher self, which frees you from gravity. And I used to question myself all the time. Am I lying? Am I projecting? Is this really my purpose? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Am I under an illusion? But the thing is, my entire life led me to this. I was just known as a tree artist. I was known as the national anthem singer and just known as a tree artist. I was known as the national anthem singer and other silly things because I needed approval from the world, and I wanted to see what I could do with my body, with my brain. And everything led me to this, and I even had dreams about it before I even did it. So I know I'm meant to do it. I just don't know if I'm handling it correctly sometimes. So I'm humble enough to say I could be wrong, and that's why we're here. If you are here, you are meant to be here. Your higher self says, hey, psst, she's going to say something that's very important. She might even give you a free reading. What? It might be worth it. So we're going to begin this session by reading for Anita. And we went live earlier today, and one thing we saw was principalities and powers and demons that attack your biofield. They basically get passed down in your family. King Solomon and the Testament of Solomon says they have particular names. And we were able to resolve that principality or power today. These are little miracles that occur. And these principalities and powers basically infect your mind with truths that aren't really true. And they want you to be like them. They want you to be weak, and they want you to have a heart of stone. They want you to be narcissistic. They want you to be selfish. They want you to serve the flesh. And so being aware that these things are what are on you is something that I show you. We open a portal called The Looking Glass. I've been doing this for 15 years, for TikTok, 6 years. This is my second account. My first account is linked in the bio there because I was banned from going live because they didn't like a symbol that showed up in my art. So we are living in strange times. But this is my second account, and we are going to anoint and bring the Holy Spirit, my higher self, your spirit teams, and all the energies around you to help you today. And Anita, I see a chariot of fire. So the chariot of fire is your Merkaba. Activating your Merkaba is something that you will have to you'll have to do. And there's some secrets with the Merkaba. The movie Contact comes to mind. Jodie Foster says, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And what she sees in her quote-unquote Merkaba, which was a time machine, was how life works. And how when she reached a beach far, far away, it was her father who showed up. And he said, what strange creatures you are. Such terrible nightmares and such beautiful dreams. And yes, that is what a human being is. What terrible nightmares, but what beautiful dreams. What a world of duality. Let us activate the heart of a child. Tap your heels together. 3 times. Let's see if Anita is here so we can play and have fun and then get serious, okay? Let's see here. Do, do, do. Oh, say, can you see? Hello, Charmaine. There you are, Anita. How's my angel? Let's play. You ready to play? Let's see what characters you get on the Yellow Brick Road. The Yellow Brick Road is all about your biofield and your spiritual ascension. There are secrets in the Wizard of Oz that are connected to numerology, symbology, sacred geometry, and even the color of the Wicked Witch's skin and the color of Dorothy's blue dress and her red shoes are all about your biofield and about something that was cut from us a long time ago. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you find me, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Be aware that TikTok is giving me a hard time uploading your video. Sometimes they say video upload not available, just for no reason at all. And I can send clips or whatever. And then YouTube is also giving me problems. So I suggest you screen record it or memorize it. I dare you. So what we have here is Dorothy. And a couple of things that Dorothy is challenged with is where to put her mind. If your mind is dog, it represents the inversion of God. If we have thought forms of God, then your mind is called God. But if your mind is following a dog, then it is following non-truth. So Dorothy's dog went into the garden of the reptilian Wicked Witch. And she got really mad at the witch because the purpose of reptilians is to make you angry at them and tether your biofield to them. And by extension, you are stuck in their reality. And then their reality is never in your favor, not ever. So we have the dog, we have the Dorothy, and then we have the lion. So if you're stuck in the Wicked Witch of the West, the worst thing you can do is say, put them up, I'll fight you with both hands behind my back. And the lion has to be slapped. Now, the lion is connected to the 8th gate and the 8th month and the number 8, called the Lion's Gate. And so there's a ring here, and the ring is purple, and that's the color of the Holy Spirit. So this might represent protons. This represents neutrons. And these two decay and die. You have to have a trinity. Electrons, which is the Holy Spirit. It is a ring of power that Dorothy needs in order to fly over the 7 colors of the rainbow like a pretty little bluebird, except she wore a blue dress, and this is your biofield. You also have a ring that is emerald in color. So Emerald City is the mastery. If you are in Emerald City, then you are at the master's table in alchemy, and you are learning to work with the laboratory of your awakening through symbology. Yaya! How's my Yaya? What you doing? Are you hitting bells? Are you playing and laughing? All right, so we're going to move on with Anita. We're going to anoint your piece with blue lotus essential oil. A healthy human being resonates between 70 and 100 hertz. Gurus, masters, and Jedis will often wear linen cloaks because it emits 5,000 hertz frequency. Rose essential oil has over 320 hertz. Frankincense has 147 hertz or more. And there are elements and amulets and things that you can carry with you to strengthen power objects so that you are protected and that you are able to heal others through that energy. So when you follow frequency in life, you'll begin to be able to navigate your way through this labyrinth we call life harmoniously. Let's hear a song in our head. You know he held the cure. You know he went astray. He used to stay awake to drive the dreams he had away. He wanted to believe in the hands of love. He went deeper into black, deeper into white. You hear the dogs crying like nails in the night for the beating, 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 the beating hands of love. Oh my love, oh my love, oh my love, my love. And he saw that the hands that could heal could also tear down, the hands of love. So there's a man coming forward immediately. He's petting a dog. There's a female behind him. There's pyramids. I'm going to just note things that I'm seeing, and then Spirit will solidify exactly what I need to bring out. This man is very prominent. He's an older man. You have your arms around him. Somebody you love. There's a dog there. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and bring it out. I guess we're going to have to do 2 pieces. This is about people who have passed on. I don't know who it is. So, he just looks like this. And then there's a woman behind him holding and smiling with her arms wrapped around him. And a rose. And a dog. So Anita, do you feel anything about these people right here, or is it a spiritual communication? Because it seems like they popped right out and they're like wanting to communicate with you. If it's a spiritual communication, it really represents that you are entering into the divine marriage. It's called Aleph and Beth, or Bet, and it is the unification of flesh and spirit and leaving the realm of the dog and going to the inversion, which is why you have a dog in your piece. But also, sometimes people come forward to communicate, and I don't know how or why. I honestly have seen them on the spirit realm. I've actually spoken to people in the spirit realm. I know that there are those who are polarized by the written word and by fleshly understandings that they wouldn't believe this to be true, but definitely there's a communication for you. Let me see if I can see a comment from Anita. I'm looking at your comments right now. Thank you for sharing the live, Yaya. Goodness. Okay. So I'm going to let Grandpa and Grandma tell you something about your past. So in the mirror of them is a man with this type of hat here, and it's a mirror, and they look like this, and there's this, and there's this, and it's something upside down like that, and they're going to tell you about something, and then we're going to move on to you, because sometimes your loved ones will come forward, like they'll insist and like, we're here to really focus on you, but I don't have control over what comes forward. I really don't. So if you have very close or even family members that for some reason need to say something to you, then I'm going to let them talk. So there's something about, I see this person coughing. There's an underground place. I don't know why they're showing me this, and I keep seeing a shadow. There we go. So show me what it is that you want me to see, because I'm going to tell you what I see, and they're gonna fix it for me, whatever I see. I see tunnels going into this underground mechanical world, and it looks, like so there's this house, and there's these people inside this house, and then outside of the house there's this water that comes out of a and so I don't know why they're showing you as a little girl. So here you are or something, and here is, or at least it's a child. And they're showing this reality here. It's a house. There's Mary. Okay, so they're going to talk about religion with you. So there's Mary, Joseph, and Jesus in a stable. And then this is you as a child looking up at this symbol of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus in a stable. And it's a laughing Buddha, like this. And then you have Christianity over here, then you have Buddhism over here. And something about falling into the water. So when our consciousness falls into the water, and there's a woman also, another woman, someone you know. You have a lot of relatives. She's skeptical of me. She's like, I don't know. You have another man. He has glasses. Well, so you have Vishnu up here. That's what I saw with the headdress. So this Vishnu god, he has this strange temple above his head. It's a very strange technology. And I get the sense that it's a technology. And this technology is a very interesting mountain, handmade. It's a technology. And it's Vishnu. I don't know where all these gods are coming from and what they're doing, what's going on here. And he has a coat on, and then his coat turns into like an elephant, like this. So he is the god El. And this is El Shaddai, Elohim, Aleph, Elephant, the 11, and saying something to you about gods and about falling into the waters. And for some reason, you as a child, I don't know why you're hanging on a cliff and you're about to fall into the waters here. I don't understand that yet, but this is definitely water. So I'm going to ask them what they're wanting to say to you. So there's a Finn, Dagon the fish god. They're wanting to talk about the truth about the fish gods and about death and life, basically. So there's an ark, and the ark is mental. It was never meant to be literal. It is an ark that keeps you above water. It is connected to many gods, I guess. They are in a good place. They are not in the dog. They did not fall into the waters. They were worried when you were little that you were going to fall. Something happened when you were younger about you not reaching your spiritual potential. I don't know what, but it looks as if they were worried about you falling. And something about somebody fell and then you didn't fall. So there's a communication about the people that fall actually didn't fall. And talking about parallel worlds. They're talking about where they are. This is the Son. This is the Son of God. This is the cosmic Christ. This is El. These are people who passed away, but you didn't. But something happened. And so anyway, there is a spirit that has the letter V over their head, and they're bald-headed, and they look like a boy, and they're like this. And they're very strange. They have body language that looks like this and like this. I know what the squatting man is. The squatting man is somebody who is being watched by the invisible ones. And there's a planet here. And there's a number 10. It's another planet. And these beings, whether it's Christ, and I know who that is, and all these people there's a man that looks Native American. He has long black hair. There's another man standing here. I'm looking for a direct message from them. It takes me a minute. Now I'm going to give you a temporary reading on this. It looks like what they're saying is the god El is in control of all these other religions, and you almost fell, and you were pushed by someone who was in the waters of the spirit world, pushed so that you didn't fall. And you are being met by different spirit guides and the number 10 and Aleph. And these are symbologies that are going to grow your consciousness through truth. The squatting man and Vishnu and Buddha. And then your grandparents right here in the center of it saying, we have to learn to dominate our mind, which is our dog. And it is about the even though they're speaking to you in the physical, spiritually, they're speaking to you about becoming androgynous spiritually, not physically or like by gender. Meaning that we must balance male and female, because there's your male, there's your female, and they're both children. And we have to balance male and female, flesh and spirit, so that we can be together. And it seems as if the female aspect was having a hard time. And this man, you can see him really close right there, was using his hand to push you up over this great crossing, this great awakening, really. So there's a female here, there's your grandparents, there's a dog, and then there's another man. And then the boy is someone you're meant to become, because spiritually speaking, you're male. You are an electric being, you're physical, so you're considered male. Your spirit is an animal, but is also female. And so spirit must dominate the flesh. So you're moving away from the written word to the unwritten word, which means you're going to start learning things outside of all religions. And these religions are going to be inclusive of El, Buddha, Vishnu, Bahrain from Zoroastrianism. And then I don't know what kind of hat he's wearing here, but it's almost as if it's connected to Iran or Iraq. So let's talk about this, and then we're going to move on to just you, okay? Because you need to know that for some reason they want you to know that Christ and Christian religion is connected to Dagon, the fish god. I don't know why. So, let me show you a picture of it if you don't know. So many organizations will actually dress up like Dagon, the fish god. He's a mermaid god, and he comes from the communication of an African tribe called the Dogon tribe, who said that humanity itself was created by a mermaid or fish god. But I would more like to say that the age of Pisces is the two fish, and the body of Christ was like the fish, and it's a symbol of Osiris being put in a box underwater. And the story of Vishnu is that the reptilians took an elephant underwater. And so when you look up Hinduism, Vishnu, Buddhism, all of it talks about a story of going underwater with the fish. And so to get out of the dog is to get out of the curse of Cain, which is the canine, which apparently is underwater. Now, it even goes back to Rome. Remus and Romulus were twins, and they were sent down the water to be raised by a dog. And so they were thrown away from their original home. So the story is that you were thrown down the river like Remus and Romulus, or like Moses, and that the reality that we are in right now was dominated by a dog. Everything under the dog was like not our home. And so when they are putting their heads up here, they're saying, we're home. This is a home. But all of these truths are also home. Vishnu, Aleph, Buddha, the number 10, 1 and 0, the squatting man, some Native American spirit, the Great Spirit. So all these religions, and I'm sure even Allah is in here, and water is Ava, and all the elements. What they're basically saying is these are elemental gods. And to be down here in the fish is to be in the W, and somebody that you knew was in the upside down world, and they were in that lower world also. So they're saying something to you that think of Stranger Things when she was in the upside down world, and then there was a big crack in the earth, and then they were trying to get into the right side up world. That's what it feels like to me. But you're very young there. So we will think about this. Why don't you take a screenshot, because we'll have to go back to it. And be aware that what I do is I make a video for you, and I paint this digitally so you can see it clearly. And I give you a message that Spirit has spoken to me within 3 days. And then you'll be able to think about it yourself also. Because my job isn't to make you believe what I say or anything like that. My job is to let you know that you have the ability to become an oracle and to be powerful and to step into that power so that you aren't polarized by people outside of yourself, including me. I never want to start a cult. I never want to start a church. I could make a mistake. I might be wrong. But I will say I get repetitive patterns that I'm pretty confident in many of the things I do say. I don't believe everything I say or what comes out of my mouth, but because sometimes I'm like, no, that can't be true. But I just let it come out no matter what. So so let's talk about the symbols here, and then we're going to move on to your second piece. So the number 10 is connected to the elephant. The number 1 is the one infinite God. The number 1 has a name called Aleph. Aleph is the elephant. And the elephant is very connected to a communication of the god El. Now, El is a moon god, but this god El changes. He is everywhere. So he is the one and all God. And so El is about the elements. He is electricity, meaning part of your flesh. Electricity. He is 11. He's part of the Elvins. He is the 11th house of Aquarius. I just said 11. And he is electrons. And electrons live forever. So he is the one God that lives forever. And 0 is nothing. So he's the one God that came out of nothing. And everything is an emanation of the number 1. So when you see the number 1, then you see that you are in a reality called the fish. It's really multidimensional. This is an emanation of a communication. So if you are just the 1, then when you get to 10, you are the second emanation. So you are the one in duality. This is the 2 fish. It's the 12th house, which is Pisces, which is the fish. And then the 3rd emanation is 100, and the 4th emanation is 1,000. And this is how they communicate. They communicate through numerology. The squatting man, his name is Bahrain. I met him. He comes from Iraq. He's connected to the praying mantis. When you think of the praying mantis, think of the praying man. He's green. He's connected to Osiris. And he comes to you like windy, like Peter Pan, the green. Look, he is the wind, and he gets windy out of the window. And so you have a power about you, and you have to bring your female with your male, according to this. Or at least they're telling you a story. I don't know. But I know who the squatting man is. I know who that is. And basically, they upgrade your oracle abilities, and they will help you to see many different truths in all different cultures, whether we're talking about the East or the West. So the East, you have Buddhism, Hinduism, Vishnu, and other gods. And then in the West, we have Christianity and other energies here that are connected to even Judaism. So Judaism and Islam. So why they're bringing all this together, I think what they're saying is it's all inclusive. And the way that we balance it within ourselves is by studying symbology, numerology, and realizing that they are emanations of the one God. And God in the Bible had 7 spirits of God, and there are many emanations of God. Like Jesus said, my Father's house has many mansions. So these mansions are places, and gods are not people, they are places. So when Buddha ascended, he became a place, like a school, a celestial school. And so they become a place. So you go through the body of the elephant, you're going through the body of elements, you're going through the body of Buddha, you're going through the body of these gods. And then when you succeed in balancing the male and female and the dog, the Trinity, your animal, then you ascend out of this area down here. I don't know if they're telling you how to escape, but it seems as if they are. It seems as like they're like, hey, you want to get out of this jerk world? I'm going to tell you. So they're telling you some stuff. Let's move on because I'm a bit perplexed. Usually when I get a message from people who are not here, they kind of take over and they seem to want to tell you something where they're looking down here in this area. And I think they're trying to tell you to look up or something. So let's move on. Yeah. I could feel like when I closed my eyes and I was about to do your piece, I felt somebody's foot tapping, like, I'm waiting, like that. So what I'm looking for is what you're meant to do here and what it is exactly that the spirit world is saying about you and what you need to be doing with your personal life right now. And your spirit, of course. So okay, so you have a swan, and this swan is a divine goddess who is your teacher currently. I don't know why there's a man showing up with a gun in his hand. I think that it means something that happened quickly. There's something that happened quickly. So there's something about there's something about a shift that's going to happen. It's going to happen very quick. And we need to be ready for it. You are studying. You are speaking. You're a speaker. You're a prophet. You're learning to speak the voice of the ancient one, the elephant, really. You have an elephant above your head. And an owl. And there's an owl flying above your head. So I'm not really sure who the goddess is of the swan exactly. We will look it up. we're going to give ourselves a minute to really look at this because there's some things happening with your piece here that I need to take my time with. There she is. She's so pretty. She has straight hair. I'm sorry, but it looks like a space station, and there's a window, and there's technology. There's a man with his fist on his face. This means that human beings are awakening from a cosmic sleep. And this is the Great Awakening. And there's stories about your past that need to be brought forward. Like out of this window behind this woman is a planet. Around this planet is a line like this. There is like a snake or something above her head, like an animal. And this represents it really isn't a snake. It's really about an awakening. It's when you see an Egyptian and he has this right here, and then he has the snake at the top, and he's like this, and he's like this. I don't know what they tell us, but it represents the fall of consciousness, because we fall into a cosmic sleep every 5,600 years. Then for 5,600 years, we wake up. And it's a great awakening that comes out of our third eye. And so it's about levels and steps. So this is somebody who's talking about the Great Awakening. She's a carrier of the flame. This is a chariot of fire. You are being shown towers being destroyed, realities being destroyed. This energy is a chariot of fire that's destroying realities and timelines. And then at the top, there are these beings. They're wolves and liars over here, and they're part of a tower, and the tower is falling. So there's an old man with a very long nose, big eyes, pointy chin, no hair on top, only hair on the side, wearing clothing that looks like a cloak. Then there's another man over here, or a wolf looking dude. And he looks like this, but he has the same cloak on. They're all wearing cloaks. And they are part of a tower that's falling. Like this. Timelines falling, towers falling. And they said, turn the pyramid on its side. This is a pyramid. Just do this and that, and it's a tower. And these towers are falling, which many of them. And then there's a very strange looking god. I'm gonna put the camera as close as I can to this because I want you to see this dude. He looks like this. He has a long beard like this. He has I know who he is. He's the I Am. He's Yam. And what he does is he makes people suffer under the wall. He's a god of suffering. So if people are under this wall right here, they're like this, and they're like this, and they're holding up the wall, almost as if, I'm not sure if I'm right about this, almost as if our energy, the people who are under the wall or under the table, are feeding or creating the higher worlds. And this was a world of suffering that was created by the I Am, which is Yam. And Yam is the god of child sacrifice. He sacrificed his own son. So we see the letter Y right here. This is Yam. And these people are holding up the wall. They're in pain. They're suffering. But they can't ever get above the wall because they're here. They're in a land of suffering. So, this is a reality that I believe we're leaving. Yeah, it's Yam. And believe me, he's kind of a jerk, but there's a purpose for him. And he's saying goodbye. So we're leaving the god of suffering. And there's many of us who are ascending past Yam because of Saturn. And we're going to look up that number here. I think it's 8835 because, and then this is, I thought it was ORA, like almost like Oracle, ORACL, like Oracle or Orion's belt, but it's something else. I don't know exactly what they're saying here. I think it is the God of the sun is R, not Ra, and this is the sun. And then the sun is going into a tower here. And there's something about it, so let's look things up, okay? Well, first of all, let me tell you this. A tower has the word two in it. Tu, Re. The god Ra is also called Re or Ra in Wikipedia. So Tu, Re means two eyes, the tower. So a tower represents the eye of the flesh and eye of the spirit, so two eyes. When we are in a box that looks like a tower, we are in a prison. This box is like this. Y A M. It's a tower. And the tower is dominated by Yam. Oh, I know why she has the fish now. I know why. Yam is the god of chaos. The I am. And the god of chaos is the god of child sacrifice and suffering and war. So the I am is Yam, but the I am changed after the flood and all this. Anyway, Osiris was put into a box and was put underwater. So when you are in a box, when you are in a tower, when you are underwater, you are in the god of suffering. You will suffer. This is, those people hold up that higher realm or reality. This God doesn't seem to care very much about us. He reminds me of Papa from Stranger Things, where Papa was very cruel to 11 in order to make 11 become an oracle, which it looks like that might be something that's in your reading. If we do not hear the voice of God or hear or be able to tap into the invisible world or the invisible Holy Spirit, then we don't get out of the prison. So the only way out of the prison is to literally open this box. The only way to open the box is through forgiveness and really an awakening that is inclusive of many religions that are all emanations of the true God. And the true God is the elephant, which is called Aleph, the infinite one. And it is not Yam, the god of child suffering, sacrifice, and chaos, which is the I am. We were in that God, and we had to go through Pisces, through the body of Christ, through Dagon the fish god, and all these guys in order to get out of the water. So to get out of the water is an allegory of moving our consciousness to a divine plane and leaving just our physical thoughts. We activate our heart chakra and turn our mind off of the matrix and turn our heart onto the sun. Now, the god of the sun was not Ra, it was Ar, from Armenia. This is where the ark was found on Mount Ararat. So when you see that Jesus spoke like Aramaic and Mary has R in it, the god Ar is the sun god. He was always called Our Father, like Our Father who art in heaven. And this is in Armenia. And he is the sun god. And there's a communication about connecting your heart chakra to the sun. And when the box opens, it turns into a cross. And this cross means, oh, you did it. You're out of the prison. What did you do? Oh, you learned to heal your 7 wounds through the 7 wounds of Christ, your 7 chakras. Oh, you learned to balance the elements, the El God. And this is water, air, fire, and earth. And you learned to merge flesh with spirit and allow spirit to dominate flesh. And you stepped into your Trinity. And your Trinity is the moon, the earth, and the sun. perfectly balanced within you, making a triquetra. So you're the one who needs your trinity, Neo, which is a white rabbit. It is the triquetra. And so I think what you're being shown is a technology that is an ancient technology, and that the God Yam, I am, the purpose of I am was to go through Gaia to dominate Yam. So all the Yah gods are moon gods. They're gods of suffering and water. Yah, Shua, Yah means moon. Shua means the ray of the sun. So Gaia, I-A is Yah. So when you're looking at the I am, it is Yam. All right. And so when you go into a body of a God that dominates Yah or El, you're no longer in the God of suffering, or you have the ability to get out. So Gaia, Freya, Emaya, Haya, Maya, Maria, they all dominate Yah. Yahshua, Yahweh, and Yam. And you're being shown a technology that people don't know about. The Saturn in your piece is the bringer of the original Son of God, which is R from Armenia, according to your reading. And this is R, which is the Or. And then this is Saturn taking away the old God, bringing the Son of God, releasing us from a prison known as a box, towers falling, and by extension, the liars and the thieves falling away. So let's look at, first of all, I don't know who the swan goddess is. I have no clue. Leda and the swan is in Greek mythology. Oh, what did I do? So there's Leda. Let me see if there's another one. Cygnus. Swan goddess Laurel Birch. Hamza. Oh, aha! This takes you to Eastern mythology. Swan is the vehicle of the goddess Saraswati. How will it impact 195 countries and 10 billion people before 2025? Satya on every grain of infinite creations in earth since the beginning of time before 2025. I knew. See that thing on top of her head? It's right there. That's it. Look. It's the thing on her head. I thought it was Vishnu. Let's read about it. So Hamza, or the white swan, is the Vahana vehicle of Lord Brahma and the goddess Saraswati. In Hinduism, the Brahma performs the act of creation, and goddess Saraswati is the goddess of art and learning. So yeah, I see that you are going to be learning here. Hamza is considered to have the capacity to separate milk from a mixture of milk and water. This particular capacity of making fine distinctions is an essential requisite of creation. Therefore, Lord Brahma is shown as riding on a swan. Creative power, knowledge, inner realization, and outer glorification of the Lord are all products of the discriminative power. The creation is a manifestation of the Lord, moving in time and space continuum. The whole creation is proclaiming the great truth that all that is seen is and heard is He. This is Brahma and Hamza. He who understands this becomes enlightened and released from the bonds of matter. Yeah, the bonds of slavery. A truly significant goddess. Saraswati is 1/3 of the Hindu Trivedi, which is the feminine counterpart of Trimurti, which is comprised... Oh, Vishnu. Yeah, Vishnu. This is the letter V. Your counterpart is Vishnu. That V on his head. Yeah, and Shiva. So let's see here. Learning, music, fine arts, really getting into sacred geometry, numerology, symbology, so that you can hear the voice of the ones who speak telepathic. Basically, they are very numerical. They are very into sacred geometry. They're very much into alchemy. So this is about your self-realization. And she evolved through knowledge, wisdom, and purity. And all this stuff. Let's move on. O Hamza, bring the auspicious vehicle of the goddess Saraswati. You carry learning and art upon your shoulders. Give us that discriminating wisdom for which you are famous. So the swan can glide on water. Oh, that's what's going on here. Without getting its feathers wet. With the help of Brahman knowledge. And we can live in, and so that we can live in this materialistic world without accumulating the dust of materialism. The swan can also soar up into the sky from the water body. This symbolizes the need to easily rise above earthly ties. A true yogi needs to perfect these two qualities, but the greatest quality of the swan is its capacity to separate milk from water. This Brahman knowledge, a person is capable of adapting this quality of swan, and it will help him to swim across the ocean of samsara. Aha! You got to swim across the ocean of samsara. This quality symbolizes the power of discrimination. Oh, so you're learning discernment, especially when it comes to all the religions. The white color of the swan is also the symbol of excellence. So in Hindu mythology, the white-colored Hamza, the vehicle of the goddess Saraswati, lives in the lake near the Kailash mountain. Oh, here. Near the Kailash mountain. So in Hindu tradition, this bird is mute, and its diet consists of pearls. Purity, detachment, a musical instrument, sitting on a white lotus, which is the symbolism of peace. She's also like a lotus leaf. Born of the muddy waters. You don't say. But is never influenced or touched by the mud itself, and neither by the water. Look at you. You are not touching the water. You are not being affected by the water. You are holding on and crossing that great ocean. You are being helped. You are very connected to this goddess. This is incredible. This swan energy, you should print out as many swans as possible and really integrate that swan into your heart chakra. Really get into these crowns that are just incredible. And we're going to figure out what this is, and I'm going to figure that out here real soon. So she who has flow, she who has essence, she who has self and knowledge and growth, extremely or supremely alluring. She is a beautiful woman dressed in pure white. I thought so. Very beautiful. And seated upon a white lotus. She is absolute truth. And guess who is absolute truth? Aleph. He is known as the absolute truth. That's what the word Aleph means. It means absolute truth. Yeah, it does. I'll show you right there. The elephant is Aleph. It means absolute truth. She's the wife of Brahma. Oh, Kitty, you scared me. Okay. She's known to have 4 arms, representing the 4 aspects of the human personality, but also the 4 elements connected to the elephant. She discriminates between good and bad. I mean, basically, I'm just going to just plain out tell you. You're going to know a person by the fruit of their tree, and you're going to use your mind to connect with people on the spirit realm instead of judging them with the flesh of the mind. So let's say you're told by the whole world that this particular famous person is a good person, right? And you connect with their energy because you're thinking about them. You meet them on the spirit realm because now you're an oracle, and you find out they're not so nice. Because we don't fight flesh and blood. There's principalities and powers and archons especially. And so when we get into studying other religions, it's not for us to trust necessarily the written word, but we have to use the power of the swan, which is like your higher self, to meet these people and decide whether they should be in your life. And so this is about discrimination. And also you'll begin to realize that seeking first the kingdom of God and seeking these gods isn't about worshiping them. It's about connecting with your higher self. It's you on a higher timeline. This is you. You are her. This is you saying hello to you. So you are a white lotus, white pearls, white flowers, a white dress. Everything's white. Yeah, look at your little white dress right here. White, white, white. You transcend cravings of the flesh, and you rejoice in the powers of the mind and pure wisdom. And you are connected to the 4 Vedas, the universal knowledge, and the peacock, and basically the arts. So I'm going to look for the word OAR or just AR. There's something about AR or OAR that's very connected to this. So the peacock represents ordinary worldly knowledge, and it's placed right beside anxiously waiting to be used by Saraswati as her carrier, whereas the swan is on the left side, completely relaxed. This represents the desired balance between head and heart. Persons of knowledge must possess this quality. So this is basically you. This is basically your higher self. Look how beautiful that is. That is so pretty. There you are. There's the swan. There you are. There's that headdress. So let me just look up OAR. It may just be AR. I wonder if it's a star system. I'm just going to put ancient. Oh, yeah, there was a boat right there. That's a boat, and that says ore. But what does the ore have to do with how the ore is separated from the boat? All right, so you do have some Egyptian stuff going on here. And I know that the ore is very common when you look at Egyptian hieroglyphs. And it's about the Egyptian Book of Gates. And it's about gates. The ore became the symbol of strength of a mariner of sea and life. And ore is in the ground planted on a tomb is useless. It suffocates, as a man would drown in the water. The mariners' cemeteries that the seamen observed from the ocean were reference points. Avoid getting lost or crashing into rocks. So on your first piece, this is your boat. Let me show you what it looks like. This is right here. You have your boat. And doesn't it look like the tail of the swan? It looks like a boat. It's a celestial boat. You can call it the boat of Ra if you want to. And the face of Buddha is on the back of this boat that looks like a swan, right? And this looks like a boat, and then out of the boat is a window. And the window, it doesn't have an oar. The oar is over here. This is the oar. It needs to be right like this. Like that. Why don't you have the oar in the boat? And why does it say oar? I love figuring this out. I really do. So let me go on here. Okay. So Poseidon's oar and the silver oar is a symbol of punishment. So Odysseus' pilgrimage transforms the oar from a tool to a symbol, from an instrument for man's control of the sea to an instrument for the sea gods. Okay, so this is something connecting you to all kinds of religions here. Great. We're going to go to Greek religion. Here we go. So, you must take up your well-shaped oar and go on a journey until you come where there are men living who know nothing of the sea. Then you must plant your well-shaped oar in the ground and render sacrifice to the Lord Poseidon. So the sea god instructs Odysseus to become his messenger, his missionary, by delivering evidence of the deity to the uninitiated. Carrying the oar inland, Odysseus will extend Poseidon's domain beyond the boundaries of his immediate realm, which is the sea. Like all myths, this story reflects human nature. In this case, the episode explains that the characters, by contrasting the god's desire for glory and recognition with the hero's longing for home. But the passage also may be read as a brief history of material culture. Odysseus' pilgrimage transforms the oar from a tool to a symbol, from an instrument for a man's control of the sea to an instrument for the god's control of man. What the story illustrates is that separation of culture from nature and the resulting emergence of colonial space. To me, when I see the god Yam, and I see that he is controlling man in a box of suffering, and then here comes Saturn, the bringer of the golden age of Aquarius, which I've read for you guys before here. Saturn is the lord of the golden age. It is the real return of the real sun. And so when you go to ancient folklore, Saturn was once the benevolent and good king of the golden age. And this is an age where there is no suffering. Everyone treated each other as they would like to be treated. It was an era of harmony, peace, prosperity, happiness, joy, no misery, no sounds of war, no labor, just no suffering. We were not in the God of suffering. So this is basically literally saying that the God of suffering is going bye-bye, and that we have achieved enough of awakening that we don't have to uphold the upper world, and the box is opening for us. And this box that is opening is a box possibly on top of Saturn that turns a jerk Saturn into a good Saturn or something. So anyway, when we look at this Saturn that is connected to all cultures is the bringer of the golden age of Aquarius, the return of the golden age. And so this is an age of no schooling, no work, no politics. People did not work, and there were no sounds of war. The entire feast of Saturn is a memory of this mythical golden age. So this is very positive for you, Anita, that you are connected to a very powerful goddess. And the story of Poseidon and Odysseus is that there were these gods who wanted to control man here and here, but you are the center, and this center is that the ore that was once used to control man is being controlled by you here, and that this is your higher self. Your purpose is to bring in Saturn, to bring out and close off Yam. You seem to be in some sort of spaceship of sorts, and the owl represents duality, two eyes, wisdom over duality, and the collapsing of all these timelines. This is fantastic. Let's look up 8835 in Gematria, and then we'll do 5388. I will look at your comments when I'm done, I promise, guys. Yeshua is very happy. So many people are talking to him at this moment of revealing so much healing, love sent from Mary and Yeshua, XOXO. All truth will be known. The word of God is coming down from God out of the heaven. Love lives forever. God of hope will fill you with joy and peace in believing that you may abound in hope through the holy power of the Holy Spirit. Why are you afraid to unscramble your full birth names and your DNA codes? Are you afraid of you? We serve an old man in a dry season, a lighthouse keeper in the desert, sun dreamers of sleepers. The white treason. If our gospel be hidden, it is hidden to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world, Satan, the father of lies and master of deception, has blinded the minds of them which believe, not less the light. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is a gift of God. But don't forget the 613 commandments of the Torah. Anyone who claims to know the truth for certain is lying. My dear fellow bondservants, bondservants in Christ, we do not wrestle so much against each other, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. Of course, I see him. Do you know how much this dude hurt one of my friends, Mary Jane? This is a God of suffering. It is the purpose of him is to fine-tune us as humans and to become humble, and really it's a growing place. It is. But it is suffering. But there is a time for that to end, and it's ending now. We're just going to be happy about it and not talk about it anymore. Everything will be fine. We are transitioning into 2023 for humanity. The serpents have been defeated. Yay. The good king left the castle and lived in disguise among the peasants so he could understand them better. The king loved his people and he wanted to understand their needs and wishes. You can read some of this. There's some things that I can't say. Okay, we're going to go to 5388. There's something about the opposite being true. 5388. This is a lot about Satan, a lot about Lucifer, a lot about not trusting, a lot about falling people, a lot about the opposite of what we just read. Total opposite. Just negativity. The Antichrist phone number is 21091565154. So, like a bunch of negativity. I don't think that's it. I think it's 8835. So now you know that you have Greek mythology, you have Eastern mythology, you have Aleph, the elephant, you have an owl, you are the bringer of Saturn, you have very powerful energy, and that what you're holding in your hand right here is a flame, but it is also very many different tools, almost like your elbow is blocking these timelines that are prisons. And so this is about wings. This is about freedom. This is about not touching the water. Isn't that so funny that only your tippy toe is touching the water? And this is exactly what that goddess represents, is somebody not touching the water. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now this is the number 10, 10, 10, and then AR. That's the real God of the sun. His name is R, from Armenia. Our Father who art in heaven. Yeah. Not this one. Yay. Now I want you to notice how this looks like a net. And to be a master of the net is a carrier of the flame. And a master of the net doesn't get trapped in other people's biofields, other people's energy, other people's religions, other people's polarization, other people's written word, or even verbal word. You are not swayed by low self-worth or self-importance. Part of your job as becoming the mirror of your higher self, this goddess right here, is to use your higher self for truth, not the written word. And then you will know. And then they'll say, oh, you need to vote for so-and-so. And you'll go, excuse me for a moment. Let me go meet them on the astral realm. And then even then, we are not polarized by this physical reality. This is you not being caught in the net. Don't fall into the water. Don't look into the lights of the water here. And this is I can't believe it, to be honest. It's so freaking awesome that I'm meeting you guys. And like the other day, somebody was connected to Kali. Her higher self was Kali. I'm just like, are we on the show? What was that show called? Where people realized that they were like Snow White and all this stuff. They were like waking up. This is what it is. You're waking up to who you are. That's crazy. That's insane. It's awesome. It's almost like almost a spitting image. There's the mountains. There's the mountains. There's her face. There's your face. And it's just incredible. Wow. What do you think about it? I don't know if you have any, I mean, I'm not sure you can come live with me, but what do you think? Yeah, once upon a time. It's like once upon a time. It's like crazy. Yes, we are connected to ascended masters and consciousness. Yes, hello, Opal Star. So incredible. Some of you guys get readings from me and you're like, oh, I know it's going to be Jesus or Mary Magdalene or Sophia or whatever. And then you're like, what? An Eastern? And then the other day I met somebody or I did a reading for someone who had a higher self from Japan. I was like, what? I don't even know these goddesses and stuff. I had no clue, never even heard of it. Learned so much though. So much. Yeah, we carry, thank you for saying that, Alyssa. We carry energetic archetypes. It's almost as if I'm putting you under hypnosis. And I'm like, hey, Anita, tell me who you are in a future life. Because time is happening right now, according to many people. So you can meet your past self, you can meet your future self, right? And then you would be like, well, I am, what is her name again? Saraswati. I am Saraswati, the Hindu goddess of knowledge, wisdom, learning, music, and fine arts. I have a vehicle, like a chariot of fire, that is the swan. I am the vehicle of the Hindu goddess, Saraswati. Like, what? Wow. Yeah, I think this is about our moving away from, listen, Christ was about suffering, the accusing spirit, being nailed to the cross, having to resurrect, leaving the Holy Spirit to help us, stepping into our power. He said, if you believe me, you can become as powerful as me and more. Moving away from the body of Christ is moving away from Pisces. When we enter into Aquarius, guess what? You get to see a new body you're going into. Where Jesus said, turn over a stone or cut a piece of wood, and there I am. When we were in the body of Pisces, we were feeding off of his body and blood because we lived in his body. Stone, wood, blood, body, right? And now we've entered into a new body. And this is a mirror of our higher self that we are growing through like an embryo, so that eventually we become the mirror of this. It's like an evolution, yeah, I would say. Or an awakening, not sure. I can't wait to show you what she looks like. She is, in my vision of her, she represents Saturn. So this is a Saturn planet here. Choo choo, don't you mess up my computer, little mister. You go over here. And notice how the band of Saturn goes around her head. She's literally the bringer of the golden age, which makes sense because Saraswati is gold, 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 gold. That golden age. Yeah, if you do sign up for a reading, I only do one reading a day because I have to balance. It takes me a few hours to digitally paint these and then make a video. So I spend half of my day gardening and being out in nature. And then when I go and do your reading, the reading lasts a long time because we get to the bottom of things that we never knew about ourselves. And we are learning about who we are and what we're meant to do. And part of this awakening is realizing that in our physical body, so what I'm saying is, when you get a reading, go to forestfairy.com. And when you go to forestfairy.com, right here, you push shop now right there. Don't try to book because my website is a jerk. It won't do it right. So the website looks like this, forestfairy.com. And then you go shop now, and then you can purchase, and then text me, and then I'll schedule you. Looks like a few people have already purchased one since our last reading, so there's a couple of days ahead of you. But anyway, you are a physical being that is in a microcosmic reality. When they say that we were born in sin, the god of the moon was named Sin. So we were born in the moon. When you watch the movie The Neverending Story, and Bastian looked in the mirror and saw in the mirror that Atreyu was his mirror self, right? And he called out the name into the window, and it was Moonchild. He screamed out Moonchild. So we are children of the moon. We were born in ignorance. We were born in darkness. So we were at a microcosmic level. But through our awakening and our suffering, we began to grow and create emanations. Very small at first. And there was a lot of suffering at first for some of us. And as we began to heal, forgive, let go, learn, awaken, we began to spin outward like a puddle. And we began to realize, oh my gosh, cleanliness is next to godliness. Clean your house, clean your car, clean your thoughts, clean your beliefs, clean your relationships, clean your diet. And suddenly you're collecting power. And you're like, wow, this collects power. And then you get into crystals, you get into sound, you get into yoga, you get into movements of power, words of power, things like that. And you begin to get larger and larger. The emanation of you gets larger and larger, like this. And what you don't realize is, as you awaken, the emanations of what you create in this world, whether it's art, music, or knowledge, or you make castles, or you make gardens, or you're a hairdresser and you make beautiful designs with the hair and you speak wonderful things to people and all that, you are literally a creator of beautiful small things, but the emanations of the love and that kindness and the small things actually emanates into you becoming your higher self. And so if you got that goddess of the swan of purity, the white color, it means you've been doing a good job. Even the little things that you've done emanates in higher worlds. And that emanation is connected to the number 1, the number 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, all that. And so when you're looking at emanations, the invisible ones are telling you where you are. So when you're here, you're at number 1. And these are called tables. So if you're at the table of number 2, you are in duality. You are in the fish. You are in Pisces. Then which means you're in the number 10. But when you emanate more outward, you will go to 100. And it's a larger table. And then the tables get larger. Here, 1,000. And then larger is 10,000. So with the number 10 being connected to the fish, and this is saying many of us were stuck in duality. And we are moving away from duality to 100, 100. A trinity. The third table. Isn't that just incredible? I'm like, woo, 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 woo. So let's see here. So you will be getting, it says that she gains students to teach in her academics. And books are considered sacred to her. But I would say, more importantly, the unwritten word is the swan. And she dominates the written word because she will tell you the truth on the spirit realm. She's a time traveler. She isn't bound by physical laws. And your swan, your double self, is a chariot that will take you to truths that are not in the written word. You will not be able to read about it. These are truths that will be sacred to you through dreaming, through divine order, through many communications for you. So something is a little prayer. It says, "O Hamza, being the auspicious vehicle of goddess Saraswati, you carry learning and art upon your shoulders. Give us the discriminating wisdom for which you are famous, such as your proverbial ability to separate the substance of milk and from water." Interesting. So take a picture of your second piece and notice that that there are numbers that aren't just gematria. The number 8 is about listening to flesh and spirit on your ear here. The number 1111 is that we went through a deathless death. 11 on its side is a tower that fell. Then 11 that stands back up is a promise that since you are born again and have a double animal like a swan or a holy dove, you never die. Your consciousness just shifts from one tower to the next, or one reality or one body of God to the next. And the spaceship thing, I don't know why. It looks like you're looking out a window like this, and you're in a spaceship, and it's like the spaceship's going this way and you're floating away from that dude. And even your swan is moving away from that, and you're bringing Saturn with you. Fantastic. This piece could be in a museum. You know what I could do, you guys? I could leave the interpretation all up to you. All right, well, I don't know what this means, guys. There's a swan, there's a woman, there's a fire, and all this stuff, so good luck. But I want to know. I want to know what Spirit is saying. I'm very curious. There's no spots left. So, let's see, what is your name? You don't go to booking. My booking doesn't work. I turned it off because people would overbook, and they would go to booking, directly to booking, and pick 3 people would pick the same day at the same time, and my website would allow it, even though I have the controls to not allow it. So this website is a jerk. So you go to my front page like this. You go shop now, right here, the looking glass, and then you just go add to cart. You add it to cart and you purchase it. Now, if you don't want to purchase one, you don't want to spend the money to do it, I do give free readings almost daily, depending on whether I have time. And you can wait in divine order. And it has to be something that you feel like you're ready to hear and see. And it should be something that is from your higher self, not from your mind. Not out of curiosity. Not out of anything except it's meant to be like that. It needs to be a sacred communication between you and me. When you purchase it, Or if you do, read what I put there so that you can see what to expect and what to do. So you're not in the dark, right? Because this isn't like all the other reads on this app. I wish I did just do tarot cards. Sure would be a lot faster. Sure would make a lot more money. A lot like that. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, next. Okay, next. Okay, next. But these are very different. Very different. And basically, it's a gift that other people had throughout history who created pictures like this. It's basically getting into alchemy. It's a communication from the invisible world about where you are and what you need to do to get out of anything that is polarizing you. So I think it's part of all of y'all's upgrades to get into this. And even when you just sit and listen, it's about y'all hearing about symbology and learning so much about symbology. And you have a cat back there. There is a lioness right here. So this just means that you are in a celestial school and you're going to be learning from the energies of the cat, the owl, and the elephant. So you're in Noah's Ark and you went there 2 by 2 and you walk into each chamber of each animal like a school. They teach you, and then eventually your holy white dove flies and finds an olive branch, and suddenly you find your way back home. Thank you so much. Yeah, they're very powerful readings, and you should have dreams within the next 3 days. So seek first this image. Allow it to swim and permeate in your brain. Think about it before you go to sleep. Think about this image. Look at it, think about it. Same with this. Look at it, think about it. And then once you really get it in there, you need to wake up and write what you dreamed in a journal. And then don't say the word I, like I'm this or I'm that. What you're wanting to train yourself is to realize that you aren't just you, that there's another part of you that needs to be taken into consideration. So sometimes when you say I'm cold or I'm hungry or I'm this, one training that I did for myself was to eliminate polarizing that I'm just me. Because one trap that I get into is signing contracts. And when your physical body signs a contract to this physical world, your higher self suffers. And so I went through an awakening where I didn't say the word I, because I didn't want to be this avatar. I wanted to hear my higher self and really have allegiance to my higher self and hear them and speak more as we, or consider my higher self with everything. Now, you won't want to use the word we in front of people who are mental hospital wardens or psychologists or even certain people, because they will assume that there's something wrong with you. But between you and your higher self, if you're writing in your journal, you'll say, we had a dream, we saw this, we saw that. And then you'll be able to embody the we of you and your higher self being connected. You've been having extra dream. It's activating. Yes, I know. My dreams last night were insane. Like so vivid and so strong, like crazy strong. And I'm seeing things like crazy. As a matter of fact, we saw somebody who had a triceratops in their reading. Guess what I dreamed about that night? It was a triceratops. It was a keeper of gates. You want to go up into the realm of 13? You want to see your higher self? You want to step into your adepthood? You want to enter into the realm of power? You will be met by these dragons, dinosaurs, and a triceratops. And I was crossing over a bridge. The triceratops stopped me. I was so shocked to see a triceratops. They say that the triceratops is connected to the Celtic shield and all that. And I saw that in their reading. What I saw with the triceratops is the triceratops looked like this, like a bird. And then this. And then there was a horn here and a horn there. And there was this thing that went over their head. Now, they say it looks like this. And then like this, like that, and then like this, much larger, this. But I saw that this thing folded over a little bit here. It didn't stand straight up. Maybe it was young, I don't know, but it folded over the top of its horns like this, and so the top of it had horns that went this like this. And it was as big as a little elephant, like my height. And I'm like 5'7". So, and it charged at me, and I thought if I ran from it that it would definitely hurt me. So I charged at it, and it stopped and looked at me. And the minute I looked into its eyes, and we were on a bridge, so there's the bridge here. The minute I looked into its eyes, it put me in a chamber. So this is called the keeper of the gates. In this chamber, I was in a reality, and I was met by 2 twin boys. The twin boys tested me. I was being tested like a simulation. They were saying things to me, and I answered them. And then the 2 boys turned into 2 men, and the 2 men were seated at a table. And the 2 men asked me, "What makes you think you can cross into the realm of power?" And they had a Bible on the table. And they were very serious, but they were twin men. And I said, well, Jesus said you can be as powerful as him and more. I mean, they had a Bible. I had to speak their language. And I felt like it was my duty to believe Jesus. If you believe him, then your belief should be that you're powerful. Otherwise, you don't believe. If you're weak and you don't have any power, then maybe you don't believe. And they disappeared, and the Bible disappeared. So this triceratops represents 3. Try. And if you're entering into the realm of the Trinity, you are the one, Neo, who needs your Trinity. When you get into the Trinity, you're going to meet the triceratops. Now, Neo had to follow the white rabbit, which represents the triquetra. But look at it. Couldn't it also be the 3 horns of the triceratops? And it has a power. It has a power. Just looking at you with your eyes, it put me in here. And I could not cross the bridge. I had to be tested. This is the keeper of the gates. So when you guys get a reading from me, y'all aren't just affected. I am. I'm going to go and meet your higher self. I'm going to go meet these beings that you saw. I'm going to verify if what I'm seeing is true or if it's just all in my head. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't know what the triceratops is. No clue. But what you have is a higher self. And your higher self is like a bird. And it will fly to many ancient lands and answer all your questions for you. Who is this? What is this? They will tell you. Now you might get tested because on this side of the bridge, on the other side, way below, was water. And in the water were alligators. And Vishnu, the elephants, went into the waters of the alligators because the elephants went into the water of the alligators because of pride. And alligator is a Gentile or a reptile, the reptilians. And when you go underwater there, you're in a prison, you're trapped. So to cross this bridge is a bridge getting out of a prison, but you will be tested. And these are secrets that aren't in the written word. You're not going to find this in a book. Not anywhere. Never. And so these are the truths that you're going to find. And then you're going to write them in your journal, and they're going to be sacred. Absolutely sacred. And they're not going to be for anyone else to believe but you, because nobody would believe it anyway. These are things that you will not find in the written word, and that's what your higher self does. It keeps you from being polarized by the written word. Yeah. Yes. Hi, Anna. What is it that you're wanting to see? Are you wanting to see your higher self, darling? Do you have a vibe for today? Just want to get your vibe. Is Anna still here? I'm just gonna do. If Anna's here, okay. I'm gonna read for Anna, because I think she was someone I refunded because of the brown recluse spiders that were in my house, biting my husband. So I want to help her out. Okay, perfect. You're here. What I'd like for you to do, Anna, is I want you to imagine I was going to say a halo. I want you to imagine that you're in a garden that's safe. There's no bugs, none. It's clean, clean, clean. And there's beautiful flowers. The scent of the flowers are like, make you almost want to cry or laugh. And you feel a fresh breeze on your back. And Anna, do you feel stuck? Like, do you feel like you're stuck in any way spiritually? Aha! Hi, Stevie. Okay, because I feel something on your back, because I'm putting you in the flowers and healing and all this, and I'm feeling something on your back. So we're going to look at you. So I love you, and big hugs. I'm hugging you. I'm giving you a motherly kiss. And today's going to be an anointing for you. But you will need to drink water, clean water, and go out in nature more, because your biofield is being affected, and we need to clear it. I don't know what's happening. I just feel something on your back. So here we go. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. But now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday. Say yes today. That's what we should change it to. Okay, so the very first thing that I see is a very big male energy choking you. And this isn't literal. It means that there's an energy around you, or something that you need to heal, or something that is blocking your throat chakra and literally pushing you down. And I would like for that to be resolved right now. I don't want to see that anymore. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to heal that, and we're going to allow Spirit to show us some things that will actually resolve your energy for you. Because there's the man, there's his face, there's your face. He has his hands around your neck, and you're being choked, almost like you're being pushed back underwater. There's something about a force that is pushing you, and I don't like it. So you come from Atlantis. You have a beautiful something. You come from a place called Myrrh, but it's like Atlantis. And then you have this beautiful singing bowl, and it's a beautiful bowl that sings, and it has water in it, and it brings like life energy, and it's gorgeous. And you have like a crown, and you look like Princess Leia, and you have this star looking thing over your face. And you I get this vibe that the thing that you wear on your head is like electricity, and it helps you to hear divine higher realms or worlds. You wore royal clothing. You had this hand, you were literally making it levitate. Again, there is somebody behind you with a millstone around their neck. It's an energy that it's a jerk. I don't know what to tell you. It's a jerk. And it's a spirit. So we're going to remove that, and we're going to move it. I'm actually going to see something else there, which is going to move things for you, like literally move a stone out of your life, because it literally, that dude's face is a giant heavy stone, and it says CIA. I don't know why. So it does. So we're going to move that. It's a man. And I can't breathe. And I don't like it. So there's a cow here. And it's jumping. I don't exactly know what a jumping cow signifies. You have a coin in your fingers, or you're holding some kind of amulet in your hand. There's a secret doorway that opens in the mountains. when you take this thing and you speak a certain thing and you do something with this singing bowl and this coin or something that has a symbol on it, it opens a doorway. I want that man to move and I'm angry at him because he's I keep staring at him and I need to stop. I need to allow myself to see this get resolved. So hold on. It's literally hurting my back. Okay. It changed. Now it's changed into a animal that's also running, and it is like an elk or an antelope, like that. So I don't know what these running animals mean. You have these mountains. So I'm going to ask Spirit what this means in your current life right now. So yeah, there's a man with glasses right here. These beings are just here. They're watching. They're glasses. They're watching. This isn't kind. So now I'm changing the man with the glasses. You can see his glasses right there. See his glasses? Right there. There's a man with glasses. And the other dude is right here. And what we're going to do is, you see this beautiful female right here? She is a lady of the water, I'll call her. She is waiting for people to cross over. And she has a beautiful place. It has a flame on top. And it's a secret doorway in the mountains. It's in a mountain. Lots of people are going there. Animals, people, everything. They're all hiding in this place. They're coming out of a mountain. They're going in over here. There's thousands of people. I honestly feel like in your physical life, this is playing out as the quote, you can move mountains. Well, the cow jumped over the moon is this moon bowl. It's called a singing moon bowl. And I think that a lot of negative things are coming out, like you're being detoxed. You are being shown who you are on a higher realm. And how or why you may feel a little stuck is because you're literally going through a big shift. So your mental inventory that was in this mountain is going into this mountain that is a divine goddess. And it is a mountain. So you were in a reality that was limited and you're going to a bigger reality here. Whenever I see these flying animals, it's connected to children who are on the other side. There's some communication about that. So there's a castle. I need to see your higher self. And I think that this is connected to your higher self, and I need to see her as a divine feminine. I'm seeing a lot of male energy. This means there's something that's polarizing you to a male aspect of yourself. This is thinking about your flesh, thinking about the world, thinking about people, thinking about this flesh. And when we begin to shift our reality to hear our higher self and the divine feminine, okay, I see her now. I see her. She's a warrior type of person. She's literally holding a staff like this. She has a particular staff. It makes the shape of the antelope horns, which is why you may be connected to an antelope. They swoop out like this. And they go into like a flower, like that, and then it goes down, and then it has another layer, like 2 balls. And she's right here. And she represents a world, a reality. And I'm going to let her talk to you. She says, you're connected to the crystal skulls, the crystal people. You're Lemurian from Mur, inside a mountain. Your higher self. I wouldn't. Let me see if I can find a name for you. And yes, please come and talk to me. Her name is. Well, her name seems to be numerical and. Yes. Now. Now, Isis is eyes, and she helps you with your oracle abilities. You seem to be an oracle. You have a looking glass here. It's a singing bowl. You used to use your voice, and your voice used to go and activate things, and you used to be able to do things with your higher self, which is like an antelope for you. And then you literally opened some kind of strange gateway on the side of a mountain, and you're part of the crystal skulls. So let me show you what I know about it, and we can read about it in the Sophia Code about Isis here. And so Isis is about revealing your crystalline chromosome. This is the crystal skull, and operating and embodying your higher self. This is about your divine, stepping into the light and getting your divine inheritance, and surrendering to the age of grace and walking the way to prepare the way ahead for you to your higher self. So we cleared that negative energy today. Now Isis is here, not me. Now Isis is here. So I'm going to look up what the symbol of the antelope is. I think it's an antelope. You guys are going to see how silly I can be here. Yeah, it's an antelope. All right. It means it's time for watchfulness. You have to realize that you're entering into the realm of power, and you have to enter with the heart of a child. Some things that need to happen quickly in your life, and this is definitely, it needed to happen quickly for you, which it did today. We made it happen very quick. So this is connected to the goat, the deer, the gazelle, and the oxen, that it is flying. It means that you are, this cow represents being bound to physical laws. This antelope represents following Isis so that you can be bound to ethereal laws. You're currently facing the cow. You need to turn around and face Isis and realize that you have a divine gift. And this gift needs to be strengthened. But you were being absolutely pushed down by an energy that seemed to be all male dominated, which your body is considered male scientifically. What that means is there's pressures of this world, of this physical world, that was pushing you down so hard that you couldn't bring out the divine feminine and focus on your spirituality or even strengthening your spirit because you didn't have the power to do it. And the only way that you can get that male-dominated energy off of you is to feed your holy temple life energy, speak life, let joy be your strength, listen to comedy, drink water, and watch what you eat. So your holy temple is being activated through this Atlantis bowl. It's a bowl of Atlantis. And so this antelope is wild. They are wild. They cannot be tamed. So in India, the Vedas mention antelopes in connection with deities. The antelope is the vehicle of the moon god. So you've got the moon god here and the moon bull. So the god of the moon is named El, and El is a bull, and a bull is the moon. This is a moon bull. Your antelope is connected to a moon god. So, the antelope is the vehicle of the moon god Chandra and is the lord of the winds. So this would be flying in the wind. It's the lord of the winds, flying in the wind. So Shiva is also the lord of the antelope. So Shiva is a handsome man. The wives of hermits. When the antelope leaps, Shiva caught it and held it still in the air, showing his power over nature. So Isis and Shiva, Choo-choo, don't mess up that piece of paper. That one tells of Lazarus. You're going to want the story Lazarus. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So if Shiva holds the antelope still in the air to have power over nature, that is your power. Your power over nature is you. I don't know what you're doing here, using the crystal skull, crystal technology, moon bull, moon god to open a doorway in the side of a mountain, but it's all connected. So showing its power over nature. So this is about protecting you. The antelope is about protection. It's about mindfulness and instinct, grace, flexibility, endurance, the defender, the communicator. See, your throat chakra was blocked. It helps you to communicate, awareness, attentiveness, quickness, and atonement. They are gentle animals. It's somebody who loves music, has the gift of prophecy. Okay, so the antelope is connected to Upper Egyptian goddess Satis, which looks like Isis, Satis, and that was her symbol. She oversaw matters of war. It is believed that she was part of a triad that included Kunam, who guards the source of the Nile, and Anuket, who oversees the Nile itself. Her images include the crown of the Upper Egypt, who bears the antelope horns. Satis could also shapeshift into an antelope as well. Now, Santis is spelled Santis. So I think that you're connected to that somehow. Satis. Let me look her up. All right. Sati, Satat, Satis, almost like Isis. It's S, has a S, and then it ends in IS, almost like ISIS. She was sometimes conflated with ISIS. So people called her Satet or Isis. And there's the antelope horns. So she is Isis and she is Sati or Satet. So she was sometimes conflated with Isis, the goddess of the bright star Sirius. She who shoots, she who pours. So you have something pouring. She who pours. The mistress of the elephantine. The elephant, she who runs like an arrow, very fast. This doesn't tell us anything. It's like, what does it mean to be very fast? I think that things happen quickly for some reason. Oh, she's connected to pots and wells of water. Wells, to be aligned with the star Sirius. So her well or her water is aligned with Sirius B, the dog star. So she's a war goddess. She kills the enemy of the pharaohs with her sharp arrows. She's connected to the Nile River and the water in the Eye of Ra and Hathor. She is dressed in a dress. Yes, you're wearing a dress. She has a bow and arrow. I don't know if that's, but these look like antelope horns. I don't see bow and arrows. But she has jars of purifying water. She offers jars of purifying water. You have a jar of purifying water. Okay, I know who you are. You are Satis, the goddess Satis, but you are conflated with Isis. Somehow, these two goddesses are a tower of learning that seem to be inclusive of two energies. So Isis is about increasing your oracle ability. And so one world you have Isis, the other world you have Satis. So there's two things and two energies that you're actually learning from. So you're learning from the cow, which is like Hathor, and you're learning from the antelope and Isis. And so you're in the realm of the divine feminine. But I will say, this is the goddess that you're mostly connected with. And you're also conflated with Hera and Juno. So with Hera and Juno. So choking you, where you were right here, and there was this choking around your neck like that. This is the god of war. And this is saying, oh, hi, around your neck like that. Um, this is the God of war. And this is saying, oh, hi, you need to resolve it quickly. Quickly. Don't let things build up. Don't be silent with people. Resolve it absolutely quickly. Say, I'm sorry. I don't want to be in a fight, whatever. And realize that you have the moon energy as one of your aspects of power. Water is your aspects of power. And you're from Atlantis, but also you're part, I don't know, you're from a place called Mur. And this Lemurian energy may be connected to a parallel life. They say that the crystal skulls hold a consciousness within like a river. So you're like standing in a river here, like that. And what it does is it holds your consciousness so that you never die. It like holds information. But this is a fantastic piece. There seems to be hidden doorways and people being ushered into these doorways, and it means that it's time to make the shift from the male to the female. Seek first your higher self with all things, and allow your higher self to turn you into someone who quickly resolves and quickly turns anger into joy, and turns evil into good, and turns negativity into positivity, and basically turns things around quickly, because it is your power. Just practice it. So on a microcosmic level, your physical self needs to resolve things and balance them quickly. And on a macrocosmic level, you're dealing with ancient goddesses who are ruthless, and they require you to quickly forgive and let go and feed your holy temple, because now's the time to shift from one door to the other, and this big shift is happening now. And so quickly, you've been anointed today. You should feel much better. Write down your dreams, and I hope that you heard a lot of what I said about cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Clean your house, clean your car, clean your diet, clean what you drink, clean who you hang around, clean your thoughts and your beliefs, and begin studying things. Like, get the Sorcerer's Crossing by Tasha Abelard. Get the Sophia Code. It has Isis in here. You have Isis. And so distract your flesh by feeding your spirit information, and it will inspire you to take the next steps needed to quickly resolve war within you. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you. I love you. Everything's going to be okay now. You've been anointed. You're very special. You are the carrier of life-giving water. And there was a secret to this water. So you hold water in a crystal moon bowl, and you put it out under the moon, and you activate this moon water in a crystal bowl. And it actually literally gives your double, your antelope spirit, fire and power. So I've done this. So I put water in a crystal bowl out under the moon, and I did this when I was in Atlanta once, and it was freezing one night. And an icicle defeated gravity and grew up out of the bowl. It is a power water. It's a secret. So I'm giving you a secret. Take a glass of water. Take a bowl of water. It could just be glass. It doesn't have to be a crystal. Fill it with clean water, wherever you can find clean water. All right, no fluoride, no chlorine. It has to be living water. All right, it has to be clean, something that you can drink. Then you put a crystal in there, like a crystal skull, but not a skull. You take a crystal, a quartz crystal. You put a crystal in there. You put it out under the moon, especially a full moon, and it will activate your water. The next morning, go outside and drink as much as you can. And what it will do is it'll give you enough power so that any battle or war that you're having within you or in your life or whatever will quickly be resolved. So if you don't have a quartz crystal, you need to just talk to your higher self. Your higher self will find one for you. So it has to be glass, it has to be clean water, and it has to be a quartz crystal, clear quartz. And it has to go out on a pretty full moon, if not a full moon. And you let it sit out all night, and you can do it as many nights as the full moon is there. And you let it activate the water, and it magnetizes the water. That's why you have the cow. That's why you have the water. That's why you have the moon. That's why you have the crystal skull. And so then this is going to help your connection to your higher self and to resolve any battles within you quickly. Oh, choo-choo. What you do? All right, babies. Well, I'm exhausted. I'd love to do more free readings, but I only have a certain amount of energy. Thank you, Anna. And big hugs from me to you. You're going to feel so good tonight. Now I see you in the garden, and behind you is a beautiful rose. And angels and fairies, they're kissing you. Mwah, 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 mwah. They love you. They're playing with your hair, and they're putting your hair in braids, and they're telling you that you're going to step into the realm of power and that you just have to do some things with your physical self as a physical prayer. And this is inclusive of activating moon water because that's your power. And then let us know how it works. And it may take a little month or whenever there's a full moon to do it. But once you do it, you're going to feel something inside you and you're going to be like, I could go run a mile. I've got some stuff to say. Oh my goodness, I feel good. I don't know why I'm happy. Should I feel bad about it? No, I don't. Are you sad? Sorry for your luck, pal. Bombs are flying. Children are dying. Babies are crying. Politicians are lying too. Cancer is killing. Texaco's spilling. The whole world's gone to hell. But how are you? And you're going to say, I'm super. Thanks for asking. Because I drank some moon water today. I am feeling so very super. And you're going to feel like a superhero. So it is power water. So enjoy. Thank you for being here. And I very much enjoyed what Spirit had to share. So enjoy. Thank you for being here. And I very much enjoyed what Spirit had to show me about you and how you're so connected to this goddess who is a goddess of war, but also resolves these wars quickly to go back to balance and to go back to a place where we aren't stuck and like that, like a thief in the night. I hope you took a picture, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Love you so much. Bye-bye.